Hello folks, welcome to my first ever YouTube video. Today is going to be a CGC unboxing, or I should probably say more of a revealing, as I've already unboxed them and I checked online to see what grades I got. This is the first time I've ever sent comics into CGC. I've been a comic book collector since I was a pretty young kid, but I haven't collected continually all the way through. I've had stops and starts along the way. And really the last 15 years or so, most of my comic book consumption has just been trade paperbacks and graphic novels. But I decided to start collecting again in like January of this year. So I had a pretty big list of wants, books that maybe when I was younger I couldn't afford, or were unattainable, that nowadays I can pick some of these up. Although from what I understand, I've probably missed getting back into comics by a couple years, as prices are really spiking on a lot of these. But so some of these books that I have today are some books that I've had forever, that I bought off the rack, and some are ones that I've picked up the last few months to send in to CGC and get them graded. So let's take a look. The very first book here is one that I owned, and this is the only book that I'm disappointed with the grade, as I thought that this was going to come back about a 9.6 and perhaps was a 9.8. It is 100 Bullets number 1. And unfortunately, it is a 9.4. And what's funny is I thought I didn't notice, and I mean, you really got to look at all this stuff, I guess, especially if you're spending the money, that there's a couple little wavy creases on the back cover that are probably pressable. And as I got back into comics here, I started to learn more about pressing. I've got myself a press. I've used it on a lot of books with pretty good results, and for some reason I didn't press this before I sent it in. So big mistake there. Live and learn. I'm sure everyone has their first time that they've dealt with sending books to CGC. I'm not going to bother to crack it and resubmit. I'm just going to hang on to this. If it ever becomes a TV show or a movie, maybe it goes up in price, but I'm happy enough just having that as is. The next couple books here, so I first moved away from home in 2002. These books were on the wall. My mother took them off the wall, put them in a box and in a shed, where they stayed for 16 years until I dug them out last summer. And this is in Canada, so these things were like sat in a cardboard box in a shed through rain and snow and summer and all the elements, and ended up coming out of it in not the best shape, but again, these have both been pressed and cleaned. The first one is Incredible Hulk number 340, classic Todd McFarlane cover, and I predicted this was going to be a 8.5, and it is an 8.5. Sorry about the glare here. I think if I do any more of these videos, I'm going to try and work on a slightly better setup. But there we go. I'm happy with that. It's got a little tear on the back cover, so I figured, I say 8.5 is where I had it, which I'm totally happy with, because this isn't going anywhere. This is just going up on my comic wall. So from my collection when I was younger. So that's cool. The next book, so this one came out looking even worse from the box in the shed. It was pretty bent, not creases, just bends. And again, once I learned more about pressing and realized that these were mostly pressable defects that I could, remove, I knew this was a prime candidate. Now, saying that, still, I predicted this was going to be an 8.0. So I was pretty happy with this. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 300, which everyone knows very well. The first full appearance of Venom, and it came back as a 9.0. So pretty pumped about that. It's the newsstand. There's some ticks down the spine there that could not be pressed out, but pretty happy to have this as a 9.0, and especially if you'd seen what this looked like. I wish I'd done that video before I pressed it. Very happy with that result. So the next few books are books that I purchased to add to the collection. This one has been super popular lately, undergoing a lot of speculation with people assuming that or hoping that the character might show up in the MCU or a TV show was the rumor. This is Savage She-Hulk number 1, and I bought this off of a group on Facebook. I bought this for $60, and ended up being pretty happy with how this turned out. I must say, I didn't expect this at all. I thought this was going to be a 9.0, and my Savage She-Hulk number 1 came back a 9.8. Again, from what I'm kind of seeing, I think CGC grades older books not quite as strictly as they do modern books. So, to me, there are a couple defects on here. As I say, I thought, now I was a little conservative with some of my grades too, but I thought that this was going to come back like 9, maybe 9.2, and it got a full 9.8. So pretty great return on my investment of $60, but it's not being sold. Also the newsstand, this is just staying with me. So there we go. The next two books I actually got from the same seller on eBay, but at different times. I got the first one, and I was so impressed with the condition, I thought, man, maybe all the books are this good. So this is Wolverine number 1 from the limited series, classic Frank Miller cover. I thought that this was going to be a 9.0, and it is a 9.2. 9.2. Again, super pumped. And then, even more so than the Savage She-Hulk, this is the book that I am the most excited about. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 194. This is the first appearance of Black Cat, who I've been a fan of for quite a while. So once I got back into the game here, this was kind of at the top of my list of a book I wanted to pick up. Again, lots of speculation, people buying this book up, but I just want to own it and have it. And I was looking to buy one in kind of the 8.5 range, maybe somewhere around there, looking at what the prices and what they were going for. I thought 8.5 to 9 was kind of the book that I was looking to buy. And I saw this one pop up raw on eBay, and like it must have been up for an hour, if that. And I reached out to the seller and actually made an offer instead of just buying now, which is always risky that it might just be gone. But I got this book for $120 shipped, and I thought that it was going to be a 9.4. So, already pretty happy looking at the book, thinking this is going to be around a 9.4. I thought at the worst it's going to be a 9.2, but it wasn't. It came back as a 9.6. So this is the book that I'm absolutely the most happy with. Sorry about the glare there, guys. I think it's worse over here. So this is, but again, this isn't going anywhere. This is for my personal collection. Way higher grade than I, thought I needed to have, but super, super pumped that I got this for $120, and it is a 9.6. So awesome. Very happy with that. And then the last two books. Okay, so these were my books from home. They weren't in the shed, but they sat in the basement of my mom's place in Canada for a long time. The first is, so again, this has been trending. This has been a hot book, which is really why I decided to send it in, because this is going to be sold. I have another copy that I did not send in. I think it's slightly worse condition, but I'm okay keeping that for myself. I think if I did send it, the other one would probably come back a 9.6. But this is Incredible Hulk 449. First appearance of the Thunderbolts, and it got a 9.8, which is what I expected. I thought this book was a 9.8, and it got a 9.8. So that's awesome. This one's going to be sold, and I'm going to keep my second version of the book. And then finally, I guess the one that's probably the most important for what I was expecting and hoping is a copy of NYX number 3, which of course is the first appearance of X-23. And I knew that this book was good. It sat in the basement for, when this book came out, 2004. So it probably sat down there for 12 years or so. It probably all went in the basement about 2006, 2007. So I did press this one, like I should have pressed the 100 bullets. I did press this, and this one came back a 9.8. So we have an awesome NYX number 3 in 9.8, and I'm going to sell that one as well and look to pick up more older Silver and Bronze Age stuff that I'm looking for. So there we go, folks. That is my first ever YouTube video and CGC unboxing. I have another order into CGC right now, which was Silver Age stuff. A bunch of some Fantastic Four books, which is the main thing I'm collecting right now. I'm trying to do issues 1 through 100, which is crazy, and I might never complete because number 1's a lot of money, but I've been picking up Fantastic Four books, so I'm working on that. I've got some of those sent in, and I've actually got another order that I'm putting together about to send off. So hopefully, if everyone enjoys this, I'll do some more videos as those come back. So thanks for watching. Take care.